This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain shocking revelations, violence, and sexual themes. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is The Burning Stars. It was written by David Conyers, and it can be found in Terrors from Beyond. I'm the Keeper of Arcane Lore, and this is Episode 5. Our recap will be given by Dr. Lex Hurley as the one and only Dirk Kessler. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Lex?
All right. The others are still arguing about who's dead and who's not in the next room, and I just need a minute to wrap my head around all this. Okay, just retracing steps from yesterday. Well, after our little book club last night about these star pools and some masked messenger, some kind of Ashanti warrior with a sharp stone, everyone was dirty and exhausted and opted to get some R&R before calling it a night. I voted we secure our doors and lay down some flour to be sure that no one wandered off in the night and another one of these blackouts. I had a strange dream. Oh, maybe it wasn't a dream, since I can still remember it all clear as a bell. Let's see. We woke up standing in a circle with the others on white sand under a starless sky. We were in some kind of a large open-top hallway made of volcanic rock, and I was convinced that I was in a dream, since all the others were bickering as always about something. But then when we boosted James Sterling up over the wall for a look over, he said he saw we were in some kind of enormous labyrinth, and that the sun was blacker than the dark sky above, and he saw something else, as is normal in dreams. So we walked. We kept our right hands on the wall, and we walked for hours, days, weeks. And I thought this was getting to be a long dream until we came across some graffiti that said, "To know yourself is to be wise, Aristotle," which is some kind of new age shit that I sure as hell haven't read before. Eventually, we got out of the labyrinth and came across some huts, like in that Ashanti ghost story that Donna was reading, and some tall fucker in that three-eyed skull mask came out. He said something cryptic like, "Alas, how terrible is wisdom when it has no profit for the wise." And I woke up. The flour on the floor was tousled like a bloody parade had marched through, and the door was unlocked again. And we all apparently had the same dream and felt the axe hanging that much lower above our heads. Well, the next day, we schemed that I could call Major Medwin for a meeting to get his Oni dogs off our tail and fill in the gaps from our blackouts, which seemed to be getting worse, while James and the others snuck out for a rendezvous with this Senegal fella. Medwin still only cared about the location of the Sterlings and dealing with armed shipments to the rebels and Senegal, and frankly, I was about to sell Sterling's ass out from under him until Medwin started referring to the underdeveloped locals and other horse shit. Could have came right out of my father's mouth, the bastard. Anyway, I waited around his eye candy until his Oni dogs got a call and started moving. Well, I decided to pop up to the room to grab some reading material. And like a damn magic trick, the door to my room opened up to the rest of the group at the docks, and I was standing like some jackass in the door to some shop. Another blackout? Anyway, they caught me up on the chat with Senegal. Seems about as nasty as they come, but cooled off quick when they started mentioning this three-eyed skull cult. Said they turned his brother into some kind of lizard man, and this King Kaleko is some kind of sorcerer that works with demons. But regardless, if we go on the fool's errand to take out this Kaleko fella, Senegal said that they'd be right behind us to clean house. He also said this Mama Josephine didn't tell us everything and knew some black magic herself about bargaining with demons. So, all right, we popped by a shop one more time and eventually spilled the beans that this three-eyed skull-faced fucker is only trying to look like this Baron Samedi fella and is trying to trick us into something like this masked messenger Donna and Amy had been going on about. She gave us some instructions for how to telegram the demons, the Baka, I think she called them, and said that they may betray Kaleko at a price. Well, that's right, there's always a price in it. After all this, we went to a flop house to call the devil, and it actually fucking worked. Christ almighty. Head of some giggly bugger with a smile to stop your heart floated out into our room and kept talking about how interesting we are, and surprisingly only wanted a bit of our souls for some kind of special power. Guy was really focused on learning more about our situation in these blackouts, so the giggly bugger told us, or didn't, and we all started remembering these gaps, filling in these blackouts, these things that didn't make sense or that we've been ignoring, like how six of us fit in the back of a car, and remembered that they're not really here, like ghosts or something. I still don't understand it. I'm still alive, and it's like they've been possessing me, and these blackouts have been one of them taking my body out for a ride while I'm asleep at the wheel. Christ. I swore I'd never drink again, but hell, Donna's already drained half the fucking rum bottle already, so guess it doesn't really matter now, does it? Right. Let's go kill a wizard.
Right. So at this point, I'll say you have about 24 hours before you need to start making your way up to the star pools. You're planning on meeting Senegal and his men, going in that direction at the warehouse, and then going from there. So is there anything that you want to do or try to figure out in the interim?
One quick question. When we were talking to the Baka before, Amy had asked how to defeat the Lurker. Did we get that answer yet?
I think you already know that the stone bearer might have the ability to control the Lurker.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I mean, if that situation comes up, I'll tell you what to do at that time.
Fair.
And if I recall, the last session, not all of the guns that I found, it's kind of like they miraged all into one. And
Correct.
so do I only have just the one pistol and the one shotgun? Can't imagine why it's a little hard for me to talk right now.
Yeah, correct. That is correct.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't mean that you didn't have guns before. It just means that you lost them along the way.
Well, I think we should make sure that we actually know the spell. I'd hate to get up there engaged with this King Kaleko and realize that I'm pronouncing it with the emphasis on the wrong syllable. You know, it's Furiosa, not Furioso, or something like that.
Yeah, you got a good point. I mean, just look out the window. There's probably people going by.
Are you suggesting we do target practice with black magic?
Well, I'm suggesting Mr. Sterling should. Why not? He's dead, right?
But you do bring up a good point, and I'm still not convinced that we're all dead. We've been dealing with malevolent spirits or demons or whatever they are. I'm still not convinced that they're not tricking us, but we don't know who can actually cast this. We all know it, but can only Dirk cast it, or can any of us?
I mean, But I mean, yeah, that's a good question. But in my opinion, if only Dirk can cast it, if I'm the one casting it, if I'm to believe that laughing demon, then Dirk's the one casting it. He's just imitating my voice when he's casting it. And
Well, so that's what I'm saying is you go cast it out the window, Dirk sit in a chair.
yeah, I mean, not to be cruel and not to knock myself down in front of Donna's. I mean, I've stepped on people before and to advance my needs, and well, I want to make sure I can do what I can to save my son. If we're not here.
What about doing it on maybe like a rat or a cat or something? I'm not thinking killing an innocent person is it's really the way we want to go.
Maybe we could try it first that way.
So, what
Yeah.
do you want to do? Tell me
Let's go
what
outside.
you do.
Yeah, let's go. I say, I'm gonna say, let's go outside and let's see if we can find a rat. I'm sure there's plenty around here. Not, gonna be a cat.
Yeah, I almost stepped on one. Well, I guess I might have stepped on one if I wasn't a fucking ghost, but on the way up here, so I'm sure we can find one.
Well, how about this? I know that there's a pretty hefty garbage pile nearby the little cafe in this hotel, and it seems to be teeming with the little bastards. So I can morally object to killing innocent life by parking my ass nearby, and you can wander off and see if you can cast a spell. If I'm like some kind of lightning rod and it ricochets off me down to there, fine. But I don't approve.
I understand. As long as, from what it seems, we just have to stay within like visual range of each other.
Yeah.
Something.
Amy, I've been thinking, you've been running your mouth a lot. So you're alive, right? You're totally alive.
I don't know. Yes, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know what I
Well,
believe anymore.
I sure as shit am not. So if you don't mind, I'd like to slap Amy across the face and see what happens.
Okay.
Does it hurt her?
Are you trying to hurt her?
I mean, yeah, enough to shock her a little bit. See if I can hit her.
Yeah, absolutely. You can hit her. And Amy, you. This
what
dude
was
just
that?
hit a woman.
Well, shit.
Sean,
Some weird stuff going on. Dirk, can I hit
what the
you?
fuck?
What the fuck, man? I'm gonna
You
try
want to
it.
see if a ghost can feel a
Back
kick in the nuts?
Yeah.
Oh, that
I'm
will
gonna-
square
I'm
up
gonna
then,
restrain Sean.
Hey,
Yes, absolutely. You can all interact with one another. As far as you're concerned, you're all real.
That's fucking
Are you
crazy.
okay,
I don't-
Amy? Oh my god.
Yeah. You could
What?
have just touched
Stand
my
the shit.
shoulder.
Oh my god. I like pushed Sean a little bit away from Amy.
But I do think that you determined in the last one that nobody else could see you or hear you.
right. Mhm.
Mhm.
And we can't pick up objects or touch them.
Correct. You
Yeah.
can't seem to interact.
Yeah.
But
But
you
we
have
can
the
interact with-
advantage that you could literally yell at Dirk from across the room and he could hear you, but nobody else would.
Of course.
Right?
So,
So
are
our
you going
greatest
to
threat is
saunter
now Sean.
outside?
Yeah, let's go outside. Amy, I'll have Dirk get you some ice for your cheek, I guess.
Want to cast it
There's
on Sean.
no ice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Maybe.
And we can also say
Go kill a
for
rat.
Amy that the pain doesn't linger more than a couple of seconds. You're not sure that if you're imagining the pain or not.
Mhm.
All right. Well, to make this short, you go outside, you see a rat or a cat or something like that. And James, you're going to attempt to use the spell?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, nothing happens.
Well, so
We'll say there's a component where you have to say something
mhm.
to activate the spell, and maybe the cat or the rat can't hear you. So
Yeah.
nothing.
Is there any people walking around?
Well, there's always people.
I mean, I'm dead set on this, so I'm gonna try it on a person.
Yeah, nothing.
That fucking trickster piece of shit, he lied to me.
Happy now, James? Killer.
Yeah. Now
How does it feel? How does it feel to almost kill someone?
Well, if I lost sleep about the people that died from my decisions, I would never get any sleep. Lots of people are dead because of the decisions I made.
We're just trying to figure out the rules here. None of us understand what the fuck's going on.
Oh. Besides, that person's still alive.
A bully for them.
I wonder, Dirk, maybe you could try it on the cat, because like they can't hear from what we kind of understand. They can't hear me, and maybe that was the issue.
I happen to love cats, so fuck off. No, I think we can take this as sufficient evidence that I seem to need to be the one to say something and cast it. However, I have had a thought. Right. Okay. I don't know how many of you've read. I actually don't know what horror novels would be around by this time, but if you've read Nancy Drew and the Spooky Ghost, but it deals a lot with possessions and in terms of a spirit manifesting its will over a human. Right. I suspect that may be what you all are doing to me somehow. In those times that we've been tired running around, it's, all of our personalities are trying to reconcile within my little body. It's too many cooks in the kitchen, right? But what if you could steer someone else? What if you didn't have to be limited to just this body?
How do we test your proposition there, Dirk?
You want us to go kidnap somebody? Or you go kidnap somebody?
I'm not sure. I mean, possibly we'll have plenty of chances with all this King Kuleiko's mooks to try and possess some of them. Just a thought. I don't know if you're ghosts. You don't seem like ghosts. Of course, I've never met one, so I don't know. But just a thought.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to take over someone, being a wealthy white man at this time, I probably say something horrible about not wanting to take over a minority person.
No, you don't.
So, no.
No racism in our games.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna say, but like, if I was going to take over someone, I'd want him to be someone younger and stronger than me.
James, do a luck roll.
Yeah, 96.
Yeah.
Which is, I do not have enough luck.
Never mind.
Little old lady walks across.
Yeah. I want that.
It's going to be the garbage boy taking out the
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah. Huh.
Fortunately, at the last moment, he decided to take it next door instead of here.
That's when you hear he probably has tuberculosis.
Yeah.
Where are we at again? We're at the like Flophouse Hotel, right?
We went back to our regular hotel.
So we're at our regular hotel.
So you're
Yes.
basically a little bit behind your regular hotel where the garbage is.
What if, I mean, the ONI have been following us. Presumably they're still out the front of the hotel. We could try them. And I mean, they're military, so gonna be stronger. That's all I can think of, unless you want to go find the bellboy or somebody like that. But yeah, I mean,
I like that idea, Amy.
I guess I can
Right.
just stay within eyeshot. We were talking about a pretty short leash on all this. I don't know exactly what the rules are.
Well,
What are the
let's
rules?
find out how far we can go. Why
Yeah,
don't you just sit
uh,
here on the corner and I'll go one way and
We
I'll
all
go
just
the
go a
other way.
different
go
direction.
the
And
other way and see how far we can get. That way we know what our rules are.
Okay. So with a little bit of experimentation, you discovered that as long as you were within eyeshot, which can be pretty distant, you do find one problem. If you go in opposite directions, Dirk can't look at you both at the same time. So
Mhm.
one of you snaps back, and none of you can walk behind Dirk without snapping back into view.
Okay.
So he has to be
Ah,
able to see you.
this
No
is so
peekaboos.
annoying. Oh my
However,
God.
However, you do find that you can walk up to anybody on the street and they don't see you. And if they bump into you, they just kind of naturally push you out of the way like you're just being moved.
It's like you're a
Uh,
Skyrim NPC.
So
Yeah.
so they don't pass through you or anything, or us pass through them. Okay.
I can also tell you that you do see the O&I guys across the street. And you can also relate what you see to one another and back to Dirk. So even if you can see around the other side of the hotel, you can tell Dirk what you're seeing.
Mm.
And it's not an illusion or a delusion. It's you're actually seeing around corners. So you're not entirely figments of his imagination either.
Yeah.
Did you want to do anything with the O&I guys?
Sure.
They're sipping coffee.
Well,
So what would you like to try?
yeah, I'll walk over to and just try and like, because touching then doesn't work. So I'm just going to see if I can like, I don't know, use a force of will to force my way in there.
Do a power roll.
Right. 48 after I dropped a little bit is a regular.
Okay. So one of the guys sitting there and he's sort of laughing to the other one because they're bored. They don't know what they're doing and sipping his coffee. And the rest of you are probably watching. And what it's like, James, is it's like pushing open a closed door that's kind of jammed a little. You sort of push on him and you feel it's giving way a little bit. And for just a couple of moments, it's like you're slipping on a raincoat and you sort of move into him. And he shakes a little and drops his tea, and his friend looks concerned. And you realize for that moment that you are looking out through his eyes. And then suddenly you are slammed back out of his body.
Okay.
And you're shocked. And the guy himself is like, what happened? I'm dizzy. Something seems to have happened, and they go into their conversation, but you all see him. Now, from everybody else's perspective, you saw, I mean, it literally looked like he slipped inside somehow. And when he was inside, you couldn't see James. You just saw the O&I guy. James, do a luck roll for me.
Okay.
Because it was a weird experience.
That is a pass.
It's a pass. you happen to know where some of the others were standing. And when you looked out of the Owen's eyes, you could see Dirk, but you couldn't see any of the others.
Hmm. Interesting. I relay that to everyone. And I say, it was a repugnant feeling. Ugh.
I mean, what'd you do? So we can all do that?
You felt a great deal of resistance because the man has a will.
Yeah.
So the stronger the will, the more difficult it would be to do. Possibly impossible if there's too much will. Power.
Yeah.
But
just
something or somebody with less power.
Yeah.
So should we go to a strip club?
So, James, when you were briefly inside, you could just control him, right? You weren't like you couldn't.
I
You
can
didn't
move.
get like his memories or
No,
his knowledge
no.
or anything like that. It was just physical control.
Yeah, and a very limited. Like I was able to maybe look around, but like you saw, I dropped the T, and
It felt like you pushed him out of the way.
Yeah.
And then he pushed right back, kicked you out.
Huh.
Interesting.
I'm gonna look for the closest animal or closest creature.
Rats, cats.
Okay, I if I see like a cat, I'm gonna try to go up to it and see if I can see if anything
Slip
happens.
inside.
Anything happens. Yeah.
Yeah. In this case, there's not really a power roll. You feel like you can sort of slip in a little bit, but there's no room. It's like it would be like trying to put on a raincoat, but for a doll, you can't really. And the cat freaks out when you do it.
Okay.
Are there any like I don't know, just like random vendors or people on the street that just kind of lingering about?
Sure.
I guess Amy will go up to, somebody, just pick a random person that doesn't look like they're, not like the O&I or anything like that. And, try the same thing, just use, her force of will to try and control.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Let's say you see a random street urchin.
Okay.
Yeah. And roll.
That's a hard success.
Okay.
Nice.
This time you slip inside. You find that you've got a few more minutes of the able to control. It feels weird because it's not your body. But the person, you feel with a little practice, you should be able to control. But there's a like rolling thunder coming towards you, and when it hits, it just shoves you out of the body.
One of the things that I was
go ahead.
No.
I was just going to say it's like the life force is forcing you out because you don't belong there.
What I would like to do while I'm still inside the body, since I have like a minute or so, is just start running down the street to turn a corner to get out of Dirk's view.
Okay.
To see if I stay in the body during that time or if I'm pulled back.
Okay. You run down the street, you see a building and you run down the alley, and you run down the alley and you get to the end of the alley and you look around and there's no way Dirk can see you at that point. And then that force sort of starts to push you out and bang, you're right next to Dirk.
Okay. I'll kind of describe
And then
everything.
you hear the street urchin screaming.
Yeah. He just
down the
experienced
alleyway.
blackout moment.
So it
Huh.
looks like we're not limited by Dirk's view when that happens.
Hmm.
But we're limited by time, it seems like. Um, how, I don't know, what would you call it? How powerful? I'm not sure how to describe this for the people we're trying to take over, but how difficult do you think that Senegal's men would be to take over since we have limited time?
Oh, I wasn't thinking about. I mean, I wasn't thinking about taking over them. They're going to help us. Maybe like the guards of King Kaliko. If we could get in there for a minute, then we
Oh.
could cause them, you know, to shoot each other or whatever weapons they have. I
For
mean,
sure.
what's the worst that happens? We're inside and
Or
we
yeah,
we get
use
shot and we just come back to Dirk.
we could use the spell to
I mean,
Oh,
but one thing we don't know, when we're inside one of these people and they get hurt or they get killed, does that transfer to us? I mean,
yeah, it's-
I don't know how else to describe it.
yeah. I mean,
I guess that's something we're going to have to find out.
yeah.
I mean, not test out. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
No,
eventually.
no. All right,
James
so
possesses someone. All right, shoot me.
Mhm. All right, see, so Amy, you and I both possess someone at the same time. Then you slap me, and let's see how it goes.
This is how we
Tempting.
spend the rest of the night.
figure out
This is training. This is important.
This hotel
All
is going
right.
to get shut down.
our
It is
training
haunted.
montage. This is our training montage.
All right. Well, with the training montage, I can answer your questions. Since you spend some time doing this, the weak-willed are easier to possess than the strong-willed, and it's always going to be a power roll. However, you can't seem to hold on permanently to anyone for more than a couple of seconds or minutes at the most. But not everybody has a will anymore. Some people are dead. And if you're going up against the bad guys, it's possible. Now, if you do some experiments too, if the person is physically damaged, they are physically damaged. And when you're in their body, you can feel it. But when you leave the body, you're not damaged. They remain damaged. So you kind of just put it together that if you possess somebody who's recently deceased, that you will have more or less complete control until that body is damaged beyond use.
Ghana, didn't you read in some of them books? There's King Kaliko's able, or there's they're raising the dead down here or something. So isn't that something that we've investigated in our books so far?
Well, the joke is that there were people grave robbing bones for magic.
He's the King Kaleko is the god of chaos, and the cult is trying to summon. Well, the cult is trying to summon the bad guy.
Didn't what's his face's journal say that he saw a grave robbery taking place?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
Jack saw
Jack's
people.
journal. Yeah.
How about this for during our experiment? So, like, when we're not in the body and I like look around the corner and Dirk can still see me, does Dirk know what I can see around that corner?
No,
Okay, so I have to relay it to you.
unless you tell it to him. Right?
Okay, all right, cool.
You also do know one other thing that you learned from this whole experimentation is that when you possess the other person, you can speak.
Oh.
Are we able to
I
also
know.
voluntarily give up control and get out before
Yes.
okay.
You see, in fact, it's so far because you've only been experimenting with living people. It seems almost difficult to stay in. It's like pushing against the tide in order to stay in the body, and it just pushes you out.
Mm-hmm.
But you think that it might be completely different with a dead person because there's nothing in there to push you back out again.
Oh, so we can either kill somebody or we could go to the morgue.
Or maybe this King Calico's raising the dead for his own purposes. Maybe he's got some guards that we might be able to control.
Yeah, or
They're
Yeah.
going to go make some bodies for us.
Well, what about our bodies?
That's what I was about to say, don't I?
Yeah. well,
If
we
you
don't know
find
where
your
they
own
are.
bodies, you could climb in there and stay.
And my
Is it-
body probably wants me to be there.
Your liver might not, but yes, presumably that would be true.
Because I still think we're in a stasis somewhere. There's no way I'm dead.
I agree.
Hmm.
Sorry.
So I think that something happened up on that mountain and our minds or our essence, our spirits got kicked out of our bodies, but our bodies could still be living. What if King Calico sent someone into our bodies to kick us out? Now we're just floating
Yeah.
around somewhere and we lashed onto
Exactly.
Dirk.
We got
Yes.
kicked out because of a bunch of other spirits took us.
If someone's taking control of my body, then I'm pretty pissed off about that.
Mhm.
I'd be pretty pissed off that someone killed my body.
Mhm.
But should we go to the graveyard?
Yeah,
Now the graveyard is completely filled with people. It's Fetgeti.
Yes,
So
right.
there are literally hundreds of people in there. They're not digging up bodies. They're more or less
Hmm.
having a big, gigantic party.
Would we I don't know the culture, but would we have gotten the impression that, you know, how in like when people die here, they kind of put it in a funeral home for a bit and all with it.
I think 1920s at this time, probably when somebody dies, they get them in the ground within a couple days so they don't start smelling.
Yeah.
So there's probably not a morgue at the hospital or anywhere.
Well, there might be, but it's temporary. It's just get the person. They probably don't have very good, forensics in Haiti. No, probably nothing like that.
And not good refrigeration.
So unless they catch you red-handed murdering somebody, you're probably going to get away with it. They'll just take the body and put it in the ground. No examination. Why?
Well, you said gets it in the ground within a couple of days. We want a fresh one anyways. It's probably likely someone's died in the last few days.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
there's definitely the hospital. Hospital Français. How do you pronounce Française? Or is it just Francois?
I thought it was that one,
It's
Francois.
French
I
hospital.
believe it's Francais, but I
Yeah.
could be wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah. Go find me someone who's in a
CAISE
coma.
on the end.
yeah, Francais.
Ooh, a
There's a
coma
hospital.
patient.
They're still
Or
alive.
just someone sleeping.
That's perfect.
Well, I mean, I might wake them up. I'll do them a favor.
Dirk is
Yeah.
going to get popcorn or chicharrones from like a local vendor and just watch all of this chaos unfold.
All right.
Must be nice,
It's a Catholic
Dirk.
hospital too.
Yeah.
What does
Poor
that man
guy.
have cotton candy in a hospital? Don't worry.
Okay. So did you want to try that?
I mean, yeah.
All right. Okay. There are, if you guys kind of explore the hospital, Dirk, you're really the only one at the hospital that has to pretend like you're there to see somebody and keep everybody ahead of you, and they can check out the bodies. You find only 2 people as candidates that are still physically intact. They weren't in some horrible accident that, Uh, and you don't know if they're there or if they're mentally completely gone.
Mhm.
But they look like they're asleep. So who wants to give it a go?
Yeah, sure. I'll go in a coma patient.
Hey, go ahead and roll a POW for me.
28 is hard.
Yeah, that's better than my roll. So you tell me what the person looks like, and don't say a bodybuilder with.
Well, it's if they've been in a coma, yeah, they probably wasted away a little bit. Just some skinny, malnourished local.
All right. And do a luck roll.
03 is pass.
Well, that's really good. So I'm going to say that you can manage to get into this person, that they're not atrophied to the point where your muscles don't work. It takes you a little bit. And at least for the time being, nobody notices that the coma patient has just gotten up and gotten out of bed, because it's going to be a miracle.
Yeah.
It's going to get a lot of attention all of a sudden.
I'll get out of bed and stretch. Hey, Dirk, what's up?
Oh, good. Is that Sean?
Yes, yeah.
Right.
Sean, you can neither hear nor see anyone else other than Dirk. Who else?
Amy's slapping you right now. Do you feel anything?
Not a thing.
And who else wants the second?
I gave up most of my POW to that Baka, so
Mm.
I don't feel very willing.
All right. Well, if Guy's not going to step up, then I will.
Still think it's any creeps, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a 99 on that roll, so
I got a 98, so
you still beat me. Yeah, this guy's very willful coma patient.
you find it difficult.
This
Yeah,
guy's
you can't-
faking it. Been faking it for 20 years.
You keep trying to slip in and falling out the other side of the
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so something is still there.
Yeah.
But Sean seems to have succeeded, and it takes Sean an hour or two before you feel more at home in the body.
Mhm.
And there are definitely still some. I mean, you're kind of hooked up to, you're probably catheterized and all of that. But if you do it quickly, you can get all of that out of you and throw a coat over yourself and sneak out of the hospital. You got no clothes. You've just got a gown, and you're barefoot.
That's fine.
But you've still got a hotel full of clothes from your. Hopefully it fits. We won't go into all of that detail, but we'll say that you managed to get clothes that fit and a
Great.
gun.
Nice.
So let's assume that we've done our experiments, we've done all this, and now it's the day. Otherwise, we're never going to get there. All right. So I'll just say, if there's anything else you want to do before you go. Any other? Okay.
Yep.
At least Dirk has someone who can help him physically. All right. So you make your way over to Senegal's warehouse again. This time it's Dirk and somebody who Senegal doesn't have any idea who it is. Never seen him before.
Yep.
It's my assistant,
Anything-
interpreter.
Yeah. He thinks you're James. Remember that, Dirk. That's who we introduced you as.
This is my assistant and interpreter.
Okay.
So Senegal has a lot of his men there. And he says to you, he says, look, I thought about it and I got something for you. And he hands you a flare gun. He says, I've gotten together about 15 of my men, and, you know, we're going to take you part way up there, and then we're going to wait because we've already noticed cultists heading up the mountain. We want you to, if you get there, if you manage to kill King Kaleko, fire off the flare gun, and hopefully we'll see it, and then we'll come up there and take care of business, because he's the big problem. It's going to take you about 2 hours to get up there from here. You also notice that Mama Josephine is there, and she looks, I mean, the danger, she's upset that the danger is there, but, you know, these things have to get done. So she's not exactly happy, but she's concerned, you know, for your welfare and everything. Senegal also says that he's going to give you his 2 best men that can guide you up the hill. Their names are Amel and Wilkie. And both of them are armed. So you all set out together. You're heading up into the Western Hills. It's funny because the Western Hills are not west of Port-au-Prince. They're kind of southeast of Port-au-Prince, but they're the Western Hills.
Hey, west is the ocean.
Yeah.
Hey.
So you start heading up the paths into the jungle, and after a bit, after maybe 30 minutes or so, there's a general sort of alert that one of Senegal's men starts, and he tells everybody, you know, get into the bushes. I think there's some cult people coming up this direction. And you all kind of hide, or Senegal, his men, Dirk and Sean, hide. What are the rest of you going to do?
I'm going to tell, I mean, I'm not going to hide. I don't think they can see me. So I'm going to I'm going to go ahead, Dirk. And, I'll say in sight, but I'll see what's up ahead for us. Come on, Donna.
Okay, yeah, I want to go with him.
Finally get our bonding.
So as long as you don't leave Dirk's scope of vision, then you remain there. 2 men are coming up the hill. They're dressed in sort of native costume. They don't have, you think you saw people like them moving through the cemetery. They've both got large machetes, and one of them has painted on his face a 3rd eye. You guys are all quiet. They step into the clearing. They start to cross it. They seem to be determined they're going in the same direction that you guys are going. But then all of a sudden, the one that's got the eye painted on his forehead stops the other one. And he starts to look around, and you think, did one of you make a noise? Did one of you give something away? But then you suddenly notice that he's looking right at James.
Oh.
And he looks kind of confused as he's looking, like he's sort of seeing you.
Mm-hmm.
And he pulls out his machete and says something to the other. What do you guys want to do?
Me, I am going to try and
Oh no, he froze. Right at the moment.
That's playing possum if I've ever seen it.
That was great.
am I back? Am I back?
Yeah,
Yes. All right. Yeah. I saw. I was like, But what I'm going to try and do is step so Dirk can't see me, so I would bounce back to where he's at.
okay. So we'll say there's a tree there. It is a jungle.
Mhm.
You purposefully step behind the tree, and in the instant you do that, you're suddenly with Dirk in the bushes.
Mhm.
And the man hunkers down and he starts to move forward quickly to kill the person on the other side of that tree, which you're not there anymore. And he runs up and he swings his machete and hits the tree, and there's nothing there. The other guy who's with him also has pulled out his machete and he's moved forward. But at this point, Senegal and his men, who are still with you at this point, they all jump out of the bushes. They hold their guns on these guys and capture them. What do you guys want to do?
I mean, I'm going to assume Senegal's men are not going to keep these men as prisoners. Probably going to kill them.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they're not killing them immediately.
not too bad.
Dirk, what do you
How-
want to do? They asked you.
Yeah. Well, we can't risk them getting back to King Kaleko, so let's go ahead and take care of them. Just slit their throats, I guess.
You want to
Quiet.
interrogate them at all?
Do you think they're going to talk some kind of bloodthirsty sorcerer fuck up there in the mountains? Plus, this one, James, he looked like I'm trying to keep a cover as much as I can, so I'm muttering more to myself as I'm thinking. But James, did you notice anything about the one?
The one with the third eye?
Yeah, I assume he may be looking at sort of everyone around.
Yeah, the guy, now that he's kind of been grabbed and subdued and maybe tied up by Senegal and his men, but he definitely seems to be able to see you, especially as you get closer to him.
I wonder, Dirk, if is that third eye painted on or
It's just painted on.
Wonder if we smeared it, if that would get rid of the power.
I can go ahead, I can try that. What I would like to do, because Dirk has not seen much of the inside of Senegal's little chateau, and can I try and roll psychology? I have a 50 in psychology to guess how good or bad it might be if I pretend to be a Bocom and basically kill them and then raise them from the dead as zombies. Because
Do a
he's already,
psychology roll.
yeah, he seems very comfortable. It's like, oh yeah, Mama Josephine can teach you black magic. That is a fuck. I'm going to spend 3 points of luck to make that a pass.
Okay. You do get the impression that Senegal, his men, are terrified of black magic.
Fuck. Okay, so probably
so
not
if you
the best idea.
killing them, you might get away with it, but raising them from the dead, they'd be scared as shitless at what you just did.
Mm-hmm.
But in the process of deliberating this and thinking about it, you also notice a couple of other things. The two men, one with the mark and the other without. The one without doesn't seem to be able to see anything. But they both have necklaces that are basically, it looks like pieces of chipped obsidian around their neck. Kind of a, I wouldn't say mockery, but an imitation of the stone that
Of
you
that one.
have. Except yours is green. Theirs is just obviously obsidian. It seems to be maybe the symbol. You also get the impression that the guy with the forehead thing is maybe more advanced member of the cult.
Mm-hmm. So I will just communicate to Senegal and the others that it's too risky to carry them with us. They're obviously physically capable, and we can't really just let them go. So we don't have a choice but just slit their throats. Hopefully,
if you don't mind, I'm pretty good at things like this.
says
Just,
the scrawny coma patient.
Yeah, whatever. It's all technique.
That's right. You don't fuck with this one here. That's why
They're
he's my
they're
assistant.
they're already wrapped up in ropes. They can't do anything against me. Let me give it a shot.
Dirk, real fast, I'm gonna run over in front of the guy with the third eye, and I'm gonna get right in his face, and I'm gonna go, "Where's my fucking brother?"
When you do that, Donna, he pulls back and reacts as if he's terrified of something coming at him. Obviously, it's you. Senegal and his men, and even the other cultists, they're really confused about why this guy has suddenly become terrified of something. But he doesn't respond to you. You're not even sure if he speaks English.
That three-eyed guy must be on drugs or something. What's whatever. I'd like to go to the one that doesn't have a third eye.
Uh-huh.
And while they're tied up, just punch him in the face as hard as I can and yell,
Okay.
English!
Start punching him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
English!
He doesn't offer much resistance, but mainly because he's tied up.
And coma patient.
Oh yeah.
Is that a D4
Does he say anything
-3?
though?
No. He seems afraid to say anything because, he's in a cult.
Mm-hmm. Well, so I can't get him to confirm that he even understands English.
No.
All right.
Are you going to kill him?
No. I'll say, I did what I could and walked away.
Okay.
Dirk is stifling a laugh.
So
And then I'll
we'll
just
just
nod
say
to
that-
Senegal.
We'll just say that the impression from Senegal and his men is that you just lack the strength to do it. And so as soon as you walk away, one of them sticks his knife in the guy and puts him out of his misery. And they kill the other guy as well.
I will lean over to Sean and ask, trying to just be quiet, do you think those necklaces might be a way to keep their guard dog off the tail, or is it just decoration?
I assumed it was some kind of fetish. I don't know.
I
They
mean,
just-
I haven't heard of someone getting off on obsidian, but sure, I guess
no,
it
a
can
cult fetish. The talismans, whatever.
be. Oh,
Necklace.
right. I knew that.
I'm not sure that we use the term fetish in the other way. At this point in time.
I just love wearing rocks.
It
Okay.
wouldn't be bad to take in. I mean, if they're just a fetish and just a symbol, so we got in. But if they are magical,
Yeah, I got
I'll
nothing to
go
lose.
ahead.
It's a good idea for me
Even
to have
so,
one.
I will double back and grab them. If anything, it can be at least used to intimidate, kind of like throwing dog tags at somebody.
Okay.
Or it might be like a membership thing. I could pretend that I'm one of them.
Sure, you can go ahead with that plan. I won't stop
Any
you.
white kid? Yeah.
I'm white.
Actually, that's a good question.
I
Maybe
thought I
you're
was a
not.
local.
Yeah, okay. You're not white. You're a
Yeah.
native.
I could pretend.
The one thing that you do realize is that those cleaved stones are really sharp. All right. So you start to move, you continue to move forward, and there comes a moment when it takes you a second to realize it, but everything's gotten very quiet. And when you realize it, you realize that this is the jungle, and you are not hearing birds or bugs or frogs or anything else for a while. And at that point, the Senegal's men are starting to get spooked as well. And Senegal says this is as far as they will go. But Amel and Wilkie will continue with you, until they get freaked out.
Right.
So
right.
So continuing up the hill, how do you want to proceed? Give me some idea of what precautions you're going to take, because obviously there have been other cult people coming up this direction.
I am going to try and take it slow and easy, just stealthing and looking through for any tracks, and try to coordinate with the other four to just essentially fan out and go ahead. I will try to not break line of sight with any trees or anything to maintain, all of that. But if they can see any traps, that's a lot more helpful than me trying to sneak past them.
Okay. So after a bit longer, and now you've left Senegal and his men behind, except for Wilkie and Amel. Who is farthest up front?
I think Guy's up front.
Okay. Guy, you're way up front. You're scouting out. Guy, as you step through the jungle, you notice that on either side of you, there are two cultists. They are hiding behind the trees. Both of them have machetes, and they are, loaded and cocked and ready for when Dirk and Sean, or the other two men, get to that point. They're going to jump out and hack them to death. But you can see them.
Okay. Hey, up ahead, we got two gentlemen armed and ready, and I'm going to attempt to possess one of them.
Okay. Well, before you can do that, if you yell that out to Dirk, when you yell it out, you then realize that one of these guys also has the eye painted on him. And when you yell it out, he suddenly turns his head and he looks to where you're standing. And when he does, he then immediately leaps out into the clearing with his machete and starts hacking at you. But the blade just passes through you as if there's nothing there. So you guys all suddenly see this guy jump out and start hacking to those to Sean, and to Sean, it just looks like the guy is swinging in the air. Mm-hmm. The rest of you see that he's trying to get at Guy, mm-hmm. But his companion also is suddenly incredibly confused by why the guy is just hacking at the air. And Guy, you kind of get the impression too that he can't see through you. He thinks that you're real. What do you want to do?
I'm actually gonna try to possess the friend, the other compatriot. So I'm gonna start heading over that way and hope that the guy keeps following me.
Yeah, go ahead and do a power roll.
Nope, that's a failure.
Okay. What actually happens, though, is when you sort of skirt around and try to get to the guy to push him out of his body, the guy who's swinging the machete doesn't see his friend standing there and brings the machete down right on between the guy's head and shoulder and just cuts into him. So there's a moment of, craziness and confusion all the way around. The cultist then steps back and raises up his hands and just begins yelling some strange thing into the air. He seems upset, like this was his friend, whatever. But he ain't speaking French or anything else like that. What do you guys do? You can also tell me what Wilkie and Amel do if you want to.
I mean, like if this guy's yelling, I imagine that Amel and Wilkie, they're experienced fighters. They want to get him quiet because that's how you get more people showing up.
And that's kind of what I'm debating is, would they open fire, or are they going to try to get close and take him out a little quieter? Because gunshots are real loud.
They get ready to fire at him.
I'm wanting to avoid gunshots. I'm thinking that I'm going to run up and try to take the machete, see if I can wrestle it.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll run up with Sean because he's not as strong as he thinks he is.
Doesn't matter.
But he can be
no consequences.
How about the rest of you? Because he can apparently see you, only can't do anything to you.
I'm gonna go up in front of him and just start going ah, just to distract him, so maybe he shuts up.
So he's wildly swinging this machete around, but doesn't know which ones of you are physical and which ones aren't. So Sean, I'll just do me a I don't know, a brawl roll, but use your regular Sean abilities.
Oh, okay. 47's a pass.
Yeah, you easily subdue him. You want to cut his throat? Do you want to?
Yeah, I'll get the machete and stab him with it.
Okay.
Wait,
yeah.
Before he does that, I'm gonna say in French, "Where's my brother?" I forgot his name.
No response. No response.
Lame.
I am gonna try to possess the first guy, the guy who was killed with the machete first.
Okay. In this case, because the guy's dead, it's literally very simple. It just feels like you're sliding into, I say, a raincoat. It's kind of slick. It's kind of slippery. And you slide right into his body. The problem is that you are now in real bad pain because you are literally sliced open.
Yeah.
And your muscles doesn't work, and you realize that he's just too damaged, but you can get him to move and lurch.
That's horrifying.
His heart's not beating, but you're not concerned with his beating heart.
Yeah.
Should I do a sanity roll for seeing the corpse?
I feel like
you can if you want.
Yeah.
I feel like Amel and Wilkie need some sand rolls because that's spooky as shit for them.
I'll roll for them. Actually, I think that Wilkie is going to turn and run for his life back down the hill.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Amel is a little more. Amel doesn't know what to do, but he's not running.
All right. So
Está muy bien.
I
was speak better Spanish than French.
It was probably a bad idea, like, to mention it, since I'm 1 point away from being indefinitely insane. I rolled a 0-1 on the sanity roll. I'm totally fine with it.
Okay.
You're also to the point now where you're kind of expecting certain things.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't taken up corpses around us yet.
Yeah. Is the other guy more damaged or less damaged?
Has his throat cut. I think
Yes.
that's what Sean did.
Okay.
So
He
no
might be a
magic
bit more
spells.
mobile. He might be a bit
Yeah.
more mobile.
As long as he doesn't look up and his head just.
Yeah.
God.
You made him into a Pez dispenser.
Exactly.
I don't know. Unless someone else wants to take his body, I'm
No.
gonna take the slit throat guy.
I mean, is that
Okay.
going to scare off our last guide, though?
Maybe.
Amy says, hold on, before you do that,
But can Guy hear us while he's in that
Yeah.
corpse?
Oh, that's right.
That's
I
a
forgot.
good question.
Oh,
Yeah, probably he can't. He can hear Dirk and Sean
Right.
because they've got mouths.
oh,
But yeah, the thing is that if you do try to bring the guy with the cut throat back, once again, yeah, Amel probably will go run with his friend and get the hell away.
all right. Then I'll just like pretend like I'm like, ah, like my death throes, I guess, and then leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully he thinks it's just like weird rigor mortis or something.
Right. Yeah,
Or
so
what
damaged
you
goods don't work very well.
Or what you could potentially do is then possess Slit Throat Boy after we walk past and then just stealth behind us. So either
But you have to keep
Amel's
an
gonna
eye
shit
on
his
me.
pants, but
You have
like
to keep an eye
maybe
on
Yeah, Dirk has to keep an eye on you before.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to like sneak around.
could I attempt to persuade and be like, "Está muy bien. We made a deal with a Bocam to betray King Kaleko."
He says, "Yeah, but this is bad mojo. This is bad."
Sure, but it's on me. You're good. You can go with, but this is all on me. I did it to save my son. My son.
He do a persuade roll.
Okay. What is my persuade? That's okay. That's a 63. That's a no.
Yeah. He's so unsure at that point he probably turns and runs away too. But you kind of know that this is the only path going up.
Yeah.
Right.
Cowards.
Okay. Then I'll take
take
the
your pick.
slipper. Yeah, I'll take the slipper. Okay.
I don't know. I kind of like being a whatever we are. And Guy said that it really hurt being in that body. That doesn't sound.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
quite painful.
Well, Dirk, looks like we should have stocked up on coma patients. That was the way to go.
I guess.
So all of you do spot hiddens at this point.
Okay. Where's that? There.
No, fail.
49's a pass.
Oh my goodness, just barely. Yes, that is a regular pass.
Yeah.
So Dirk, as you're standing there, by this time, it's gotten pretty dark. You started going up in the evening, and you just sort of vaguely notice that the sky is much clearer than you ever remember seeing it before. You never took an astronomy class, or maybe you did, but this is better than the inside of like a planetarium clear. There's something up in the sky that's flying around. At first you thought that it was birds, but it's black against the sky. You can see it because it'll block some of the stars every once in a while. And you're either hallucinating that it's getting bigger or that it's coming in your direction.
I'm gonna preemptively like grab the stone. I'm imagining something more like serpentine, kind of like a Chinese dragon or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. Though it doesn't have completely, you're not sure what the head or the tail or the anything is, but there might be more than one of them too, because it's a dark sky. But you guys all notice Dirk looking up at the sky, and you can see something coming too, whether you are in the body or out of the body.
Yeah.
I think maybe that guy yelling something caused something to happen.
Yeah. Because I'm still not quite used to Sean not being able to hear me. I would go, Sean, does that look like the monster you saw? But of course,
Sean, does that look like the monster you saw?
What I remember is something in a pit, something underground.
maybe we should hurry.
Yeah. Kind of regretting losing our other friend with guns now. Right.
So very quickly, this thing starts to approach, and it's hard to look at. It looks kind of like a flying dragon, except there's a lot more tentacles, and it's making a very strange noise that almost hurts your brain as it's coming. And this thing is, well, it's a hunting horror, and it's heading straight towards you. What do you want to do?
Run, you fools. Yeah,
Yeah.
run. Running like hell.
Okay.
Of course.
So you're running. Are you all running in the same direction? Are you running?
I was going to run the way we were going, because I still want to get to my goal, but obviously I've
Okay.
got to kind of go the way Dirk goes.
Right. All right. So this thing is going to attack. Let's do really quick dex order.
70.
75.
65.
65.
55.
65.
All right. So James, it seems to focus in on you, and it does seem to be able to see you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Well, like I said, I was running ahead, and if I see it kind of focusing on me, it's coming down from the sky.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of I know I'm just gonna bounce back to Dirk, but my instinct is I'm gonna dive into like the underbrush of the jungle.
Okay. And you do that, and yes, instantly you jump back to Dirk, and Dirk is running. Write down who's next.
That was Dirk.
I think it's going to be
Dirk.
Dirk.
Okay, Dirk, what do you want to do? You guys still have guns and stuff, so
yeah. If it's diving down towards James, is it close enough that like I can see most of its mass and think that I could take some shots at it? I mean, like I just
Yeah,
have
and
a
it's-
revolver.
it's
big,
pretty big. You probably couldn't miss, but you don't know that your
but I
revolver
probably
would
couldn't do
much.
shit either.
Yeah.
I think my best bet is just going to be to run and to try and get kind of past whatever boundary, if there is one. So no, I'm going to run like hell, and I'm going to yell, fan out, because I saw that it went for James. I think that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. So you run off in one direction, and yeah, the effect is simply every time you run behind a tree or something and lose sight of everyone, they all pop back to where you are, except for Sean.
Handgun.
Sean, what are you doing?
I'm going to stay with Dirk with the intention of diving out and sacrificing myself if something gets to him. And
Okay.
I'm gonna ask him, is that dragon going after the ghosts?
It looks like it. I think it can see him.
Good. If they could distract it, then yeah, let's just get out of here.
That'd be real fucking great.
All right.
How's Guy doing with running and
Yeah, his head is bobbing. Like this.
It's awful.
It's going to turn and go for Donna. And as it does, we'll say that it very swiftly catches up to her and chomps down on Donna. And the second it does that, Donna suddenly reappears over by Dirk. So completely unaffected by it. But the thing is making calling noises, and you think that others might be coming, and it might be alerting other people that something is happening. What would you like to do? Actually, Sean and Dirk is really Sean and Dirk and Guy, I guess, can act. You want to try and stop it?
don't know how.
Try the
Yeah.
spell.
I really don't want to
try the
start. This is a good idea.
Yeah, I could try the spell.
Okay. I mean,
I'll try it. I'll do it.
All right.
Yeah, I'll attempt.
Guy, you try to cast the spell on it and have just sort of the realization that you don't even know if the thing has a heart. But it doesn't seem to be affected by your spell. Dirk, we'll call it a spot hidden roll.
okay. I'm also going to be reaching for that stone just because I still don't know if this is the lurker. That is a 44, which is a regular pass.
I was going to say that the stone feels warm against your skin.
Yeah, that was like seeing all of them coming down. I imagine that like I've grabbed it. And so
Right.
feeling that it's warm in my hand, I guess I will sort of pull it up, breaking the strap dramatically and yell, "Fucking stop!" and hope that that works.
You will power roll. Actually, I know what your POW is.
Goddamn right. Holy shit. And that is an odd 8 under 150 pow.
Yeah. The thing turns towards you and starts to come at you like it's going to attack, and then it just like stops dead in the air, floating there.
Sit.
All right. Puts its little tentacles.
Damn, I can't believe this worked. Roll over.
Rolls over. And now you notice that there's a couple others that are approaching, but this one seems to be completely under your control.
Sick.
Dirk, tell him to let me possess it.
You think you could possess it? I mean,
Guy couldn't possess a fucking cat. I don't know how much luck you're going to have.
I think we have to
The
like.
cow was too small, right?
Yeah, tell him to allow me to possess it.
I mean, he's sitting. You're going to have to make it fast.
I'm gonna
Those
try.
other two look hungry.
You're going to have to pass a POW roll against it.
Burn all of your luck. Make this happen.
Yeah, it's worth it. Do it.
I have a 65 POW and I just got a 50.
Okay. It got a 30.
Ah!
So when you attempt to push into it, there's something there that's almost beyond terror. You need to do a sand roll.
Okay,
Fair.
good to know. I'm sure everybody was thinking of doing that. I passed.
Okay, so I'd like you to do a 1d4 anyway, because you're encountering a mythos creature
3.
of horror. You can all kind of do sanity at this
yeah.
point.
I was waiting for that.
All
Did I
right.
lose 3 sanity?
And Dirk,
Yes.
what did you tell it to do?
I said sick.
So you want to sick it on the other ones.
Yes.
Okay. So
Fail my sanity.
Yeah. So
Pass the sand,
So-
I guess, because I can order it now. I have a big dog.
do 1d6 if you fail your sanity and 1d4 if you don't. However, Dirk, the thing immediately turns and goes to attack the other things in the sky, and a kind of dogfight occurs in the sky that's taking up its attention. You guys
So,
can easily get away from it.
yeah, I rolled a 98 on the sanity, so I fumbled it, and I was 1 away from going indefinitely insane.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll an intelligence roll.
Okay. Yeah, 25.
That's pass? Yeah.
That's a hard pass. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. 1d8 for me.
3.
You become hysterical.
Mhm.
You don't understand how any of this could be happening. So you're just
Mhm.
you fall to your knees, crying and screaming and laughing, and
it's amazing. Yep. I'm immortal. I can live forever in any body.
I am
And
not
there's
saving
giant
you.
monsters fighting in the sky.
Yeah, no, I'm still running
what
like
is
hell.
happening?
Yeah, this feels very like I am not looking a gift tentacle dragon in the mouth. And so I'm going to be running and be like, Amy, I want you to take every note of this that you can. I can't look and I really want to.
No, for sure. Yeah, you're leaving me behind and I'm watching the fight play out.
It's beautiful.
So the things are fighting in the sky. You guys can easily slip away back into the jungle. After another 15 minutes or so, you start to hear noise coming from higher up the hill. You're hearing drums. The kind of, well, maybe it would have been more comforting if it was some sort of primal, thump, 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 thump. But there's a weird rhythm to it. And the weird rhythm is, it defies your ability to kind of label it. It bothers you. It hurts your head to try to keep up with it. It seems so random. And there's some sort of musical instruments as well that are playing. And there's a sound of a crowd. You hear people yelling and calling out. And as you move forward, you can see that there is a clearing off in the distance, and you can see firelight from the clearing as well. How do you want to approach this? You think that there are a lot of people in that clearing.
And your ghosty camouflage is not really set anymore.
Yeah,
Maybe it depends. Only the ones with the eyes can see us.
Right, but that sounds like a big gathering up ahead.
Or we could still kind of we could
You're in the
three of
jungle.
us the three of us
It's
could move forward and still kind of hide somewhat. We don't need to camouflage ourselves, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
maybe
don't
that'll-
mind, I'll hang back and at least try to stay within shot, but feel like if I die, it's going to be all over. Not trying to be selfish, but
no, I think that's what I was thinking too. Well, we can't lose you.
I could
Like
attempt to
bush.
infiltrate. Obviously, I need to cover up my neck, but I could attempt to infiltrate the group because I am.
A member. Yeah.
Donna, do you have a scarf with you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
an ascot.
Here you
Little
can borrow my
tropical-
scarf.
Might look a little-
Donna's scarf doesn't exist in reality.
Exactly. Here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Sure.
Disappears.
I
You
toss it
haven't
over
really
at
hit-
him. Here you go, bro.
Like, there's nothing there. Yeah, I mean, if we have like, I don't know, like I could pretend like I'm like wounded or something, and like we could wrap like a bandage around it. I don't know if we have any.
I mean, he wasn't naked. You could.
Right.
There's probably he had clothes. You just rip one of those and kind of tie
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, good call.
It's not like it's pumping out blood anymore. So
All right. So in fact, you're probably kind of gray
Yeah,
because you've
he
lost
have
all the
face paint?
blood. You've got, it's just because all the blood's rushed out of his body at this point. All right. So you come to the area, a large clearing, and you immediately realize this must be the star pools. So I'll give you just sort of a general overview of the area. You're coming from down below, and there are these 6 large ponds that seem to be filled with stars, as if they were reflecting the sky. The sky itself has become spectacular. You can see galaxies and stars and swirls of nebulas and things like that. There are 19 large monoliths that are arranged around the star pools. They each look like they're maybe 20 feet high and probably weigh 30 tons each. And you can vaguely see that there is writing all over them. In the center of the star pools, lit by torches, there is a huge pile of human skulls with a stone that is, it looks almost like it's lying on its side, but it's obviously some sort of altar. And then following the little the torches back, you can see on the far end of the glade that there are 3 huts, and the 3 huts are made out of wood. They look primitive. There are flaps that look like, that hang down instead of doors, and the 2 on the left have these flap doors, and the third one, the one on the right, is just an empty, there is just a hole going into there. You can't see inside of it. There are hundreds of people here. They are dancing and reveling, and most of them are naked, and they are some of them are fucking, some of them they're like animals at this point, and they are chanting this chant that goes, it's once again, it hurts your mind to listen to it, but you can even see that there are some white people that are taking part in this. And the one thing is that they seem extremely distracted. Some of them may have marks on their forehead, some of them not, but they're just in an orgy of debauchery at this point. So you're pretty much not being seen. You're on the edge down towards the bottom, but what do you guys want to do?
Any sign of Calico?
You don't see anybody like that. Most of these people are, if they're dressed like natives. Otherwise, they're naked, and there's nobody at the altar in the center yet. It's also not, it's maybe 10:30 at night by this point. And you think that the ceremony is supposed to take place at midnight. These pools, they also seem to be glowing. It's almost like they're lit from underground, like maybe there are caverns beneath the ground that these things are filling.
The huts, they look like the huts we saw in our dreams.
Yeah, definitely something like that. You also, as you're looking at them, you can see that the one on the left just seems to be there.
Mm-hmm.
The one in the middle seems to have 2 guards, both of them who look pretty beefy. And the third one, there's no guards there, and that flap is wide open. It just looks black through the door.
That feels like it's going to be ringing a bell from our dream last night, where the masked messenger came out of that black void door of one of the huts. I do think that those are going to be the best options to approach. Assuming I may have to raise my voice a bit just to communicate with the others, but I'm guessing Kaleko will be in the middle one with the 2 guards posted out front.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's a damn shame we didn't have any
Where your
dynamite
son
with
is.
us. But also, who's to say why couldn't I just pop a flare now? Give a distraction, get Senegal's boys to start heading up the hill. We could try and take out Kaleko before they get here, or just fuck them. I mean, they didn't seem like the most savory types. Just a possibility.
Could
I
Jack
made it
be,
back after my outing.
Yeah.
could Jack be in one of those huts?
Oh shit.
Jack's in one of the huts too, I'm
Or
sure.
maybe
Or
us?
maybe you. Yeah.
Just starting to think that. Before we continue, I'd like to take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
As you guys are there on the edge, you can see that there is part of the jungle to the side of you that looks like it's taken a great deal of damage, as if something smashed down the trees and smashed down the jungle. I'd like you all to do ID rolls.
Okay.
Bill.
Oh, pass.
Regular pass.
Fail.
Pass.
Regular.
Okay, so just Dirk failed and somebody else failed. Oh, Sean. All right. You all suddenly feel as if you've been here before. And you realize the gravity of what's going on. You see the crowd, the orgiastic crowd and everything. But Amy, you suddenly feel almost compelled that there's something so familiar about this area that you, without people really noticing, you sort of wander away a bit. You wander into the jungle, the place where it's broken down. And there's something on the ground lying there. And you reach down and you pick it up. And it is a copy of the New York Pillar, the Riposte, the newspaper that you work for. And you wonder kind of how it got there. And you notice a piece of cloth. You reach down and you pick it up, and it is torn and bloody and soaked and crusty from being there for a while. But it's a piece of cloth from the same dress that you're wearing. Guy, you likewise have a funny feeling, and you step off the path, and you look around, and there's something over in the weeds. And as you walk over, you realize that it is a boot. And as you look down closer at the boot, you realize it's the same brand that you favor. And there's a human foot still in the boot with the broken off bone. And as you look around, there is traces of blood and grime in this area. You look around at the trees and you realize that there is a body that has been flung up into the tree. It's broken, it's torn up, but it's probably you. You can do a sanity roll. Also, Amy, you can do a sanity roll. Donna.
If it's okay with you, Amy is just going to voluntarily fail a sanity roll because everything that she didn't want to believe just hit her.
So Amy, that is a 1d3 sanity. You same with you, Guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Guy, yours is a 1d6 because it's much more gruesome. Donna.
Yep.
Donna, you find what's left of your body. You know it's you because of the way that it's dressed, but the body itself, it's blistered and boiled, and it's like your skin was burned off or melted off with some sort of acid. You can tell that whatever did this to you caused tremendous pain. And you can do a 1d8 or do a sanity roll and then do a 1d8 if you fail.
I pass.
All right. So you just take one.
Okay, no worries. Is my body possession? Do you think I could possess it, or is it just beyond? I
it's
think
it's horrific.
I think I'd be a little nervous about. I know it's a dead body, but like just the residual pain.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's also been there for a week.
Oh.
It's rotted. James, likewise, you find your head lying in a pile of gore, and you realize that the rest of your body has been smashed up against a tree stump and has been skewered through by broken branches. You can do a sanity roll. Now, Sean, you've noticed now them all sort of wander off. And
I can't see them, right? I can just see
yeah,
Dirk.
you can't see them, I guess. But Dirk, you've noticed them all wander off. Did you tell Sean?
Yeah. I'll be like,
What I had in mind was I'm trying to strategize with you, and you're kind of obviously distracted, and
Yeah.
so I'd like to just grab your shoulder firmly with a big, insane, broad smile and just say, "We're killing the king, right? That's the plan."
yes, but hang on. Something's gotten into the others. They're
All
all
right.
wandering.
I'm gonna start undressing.
He fit in.
I'm gonna let him do that.
Okay. I would like Sean to do a spot hidden.
That's
Reveal.
barely a pass.
Okay. You start undressing,
Hmm.
and you sort of are you completely undressing?
So the idea here is completely naked, but I'm still gonna keep my gun in my left hand.
Okay. You want to appear to be part of the orgy.
Yeah.
Okay, you take your clothes and you lay them over some bushes, okay, that are right there. And as you do that, you look right there next to the bush, and there is a body. The body is sitting on the ground. It's got crossed legs. It was obviously leaning up against the tree, and the head has been obliterated. And as you look down, you see a gun that you recognize, and you realize that you must have blown your own brains out
Jesus.
rather than face what the others were facing. And that's a sanity. It's just a 1d3 if you fail.
Is how much if I fail?
1d3.
Oh, okay.
And
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say I failed mine, but I didn't hear what the cost
Oh.
was.
Yours is 1d6 if you fail.
Yeah. Well, if I lose 2, I go indefinite. 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, at least
so
you don't
I
run screaming
feel-
into the crowd, which nobody would hear anyway.
Yeah.
I rolled a 96 and I'm insane, so it's still about a madness, right?
Yep.
Just losing any.
Yeah. Yeah, I think probably the same as last time. You just sort of start crying
Yeah.
because it's all so bizarre.
No,
You're also,
I'll get Dirk's attention when I can.
I'd say you're also probably upset for the fact, aren't you Catholic?
Oh yeah.
And you committed suicide.
Yes. No,
That's
for
not a
sure.
good thing.
Just Dirk, we're fucked. Dirk, I completely misunderstood the situation.
All right.
That's all right, but listen, I'm gonna need you
No.
to stop crying. Do you want to go join the orgy? Do you want to join the
I'm
orgy?
completely naked
That'd be
and
better?
sobbing. And just no. This whole time, I thought I had to get a gun and come up here and fight this thing. I already gave up. We're fucked.
It's all right, pal. It's all right. You have 2 guns now. You have 2 guns. That means you can win. That means you can win, right? Plus, we got magic. We got this rock. Wait, where'd the rock go? We got everything we need. We're gonna be fine.
Did you lose the rock?
No,
it's
Jesus
right
Christ,
here.
you didn't lose the rock.
Oh, what's that behind your ear? See, we're gonna win. We got this sharp rock fucking thing. It's all right, pal.
All
I need you to
right.
get your shit together.
Now comes the time for your strategy. What are you going to do? Who's still got a body? I guess Sean and Guy
Mhm.
and Dirk. The rest of you are still ghosts, right?
That's right.
I'm gonna try to everybody. We need. Oh, fuck this. I'm gonna go behind a tree to force them to snap right next to me.
Right.
All right. This is all very fucking traumatic. I get it. I am sorry. What are we doing? You want revenge? That's a great motivator.
Yes.
Yeah.
The current focus is definitely those huts, but
Yeah.
everybody else is kind of distracted.
Yeah.
Let's
Do
go.
it.
Also, I did mention that there are these giant monoliths,
Yeah.
and almost all of the activity is inside the monoliths, inside the ring. So they offer cover if you're going to sneak around the outside.
Mhm.
I say we burn those huts down. Get close, shooting with the flare. That flare is going to burn,
Oh,
1,000 degrees. And you said they were grass huts, right, Keeper?
They're wood.
Wood, but it's still
Well, that
flare.
would, but that also means I only have 1 shot with it. And so
Right.
there's no Senegal if we blow our load.
What's
Are there,
going
like,
on, Dirk? They're
are there
talking about shooting the
fires?
huts with the flare.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was that, Dirk?
Are there bonfires people are dancing and doing orgy
There are-
things around?
There are torches that are lit.
Okay. So we could potentially use some of those.
Yeah, I
There's-
could go up and grab a torch.
or we could, yeah, you could, or we could try to possess somebody,
Mhm.
and in the, I don't know, minute maybe, if we're lucky, grab one and run towards the thing, the hut.
True. I
Okay.
mean, I don't think these people have a lot of willpower the way they're acting.
Nah.
That's a good point.
Hmm.
I feel like the gods will be a tough nut to crack. But Guy, you don't look so hot in there. If you had to pick for me to shoot someone to kill them, what would be the most useful for another one to possess? I have this pistol, I have a shotgun. I feel like if I blow someone's brains out, you won't be able to steer too well behind the wheel.
Mhm.
Should
Well, someone could try it with me if they want.
we need all the able bodies we can. You're barely holding it together, man.
No, behind the bush is me. That body's plenty good if you get it, someone behind the
There's-
wheel.
No head.
Yeah, I feel like they need some kind of head to steer. So, like, without eyes or without a brain, they're going to be boned. If I just gut shot them, I think they're going to be in a lot of pain. But
Mhm.
Is
Might not
is
die
the
quickly.
is the
Yeah.
noise of the cultists, is it loud enough that it's going to hide a gunshot?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That would be just my thought if someone like I think it was Guy or someone made a great point that they're going to be pretty compromised and like not have great willpower at the moment. So you could possess one of the revelers and do something as a distraction. Someone could attempt to possess one of the guards. It's probably not going to work, but it would distract that one long enough to call the other one's attention. If I can get right behind him with a shotgun and take him out from the back, and someone immediately jump into that body.
Yeah.
You could definitely sneak all the way around the glade and get behind the huts,
Yeah.
probably without being seen.
Because
Yeah.
we also, I mean, relaying all of this, they still haven't found Jack's body. It's Jack, right? Not Jake.
Jack.
Okay. So they still haven't found Jack. I'm not going to tell them that I'm pretty sure he's a lizard man by now. I don't think Donna can handle it. And
Derek,
yeah,
do a spot hidden.
okay. I think we just need to blow up that metal fucking hut.
Yeah.
66. Too bad this isn't Delta Green. That's a regular success.
Okay. As you're saying all this and you sort of do this, you look at your hand and you realize that you've got black scales growing out of the wound into your hand.
I'm gonna roll a little bit of sanity.
Yeah, that's not great.
That's a fail.
Yeah, 1d4.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because what the fuck else can go wrong here?
That's 4. And I'm at 38. I'm fine. I'm not gonna tell them that. I'm just be like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Destroyer hope.
fuck. We
Right.
need to hurry.
Okay. Let's sneak around. Let's get by those huts then. That's our goal, right? Before we make any chances, let's make any moves. Let's get near them huts. I'll lead the way. Come on, guys.
I'm starting to be kind of embarrassed. I'm covering myself with my clothes. I'm like, Durko, so what do you want me to do? What do you guys want me to do?
So if we get seen, you just start dancing crazy, and they'll just think like maybe you had to go take a shit or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe one of the ghosts can take on one of the revelers and distract the guards, perhaps.
Are there any revelers kind of near the edge so that if we come out from the edge, we're not going to be seen
There's
by
about
anybody with the eye?
there's about 20 feet between you and the nearest monolith, and all of the revelers are on the other side. They're in the middle.
And
So 25 feet away from the nearest other person.
and
And
so
nobody's-
refresh.
I'm sorry, go on.
Could you please refresh my memory with the order of the huts? There's 3 across the bottom. The left one is empty. The center has 2 guards, and the right one is what?
No, you're looking up towards them. The one
Yeah.
on the left, the far left, there doesn't seem to be any guards, but there is a flap door. The one in the middle has the 2 guards and a flap door. The third one has no door at all, and it's black.
Oh, empty flap. But
So from your position, if you went around the star pools to your right, you would be coming up to the empty door first.
yeah.
If you go around to your left, you'll be coming up to the unguarded one first.
Not real interested in the unguarded one. The one with the flap, without the flap, that's where that thing came out in our dream, right?
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
so-
of course the guarded one. All right,
So
Let's
which
do it.
way?
let's go right.
Which-
Let's go right.
Right.
Right? You're going to head
Mhm.
towards the one with the open door.
The void, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So as you're going in that direction, I'd like you all to do spot hiddens.
Fail.
No.
90.
Oh,
I got a hard.
85. Nope.
So who passed? Oh,
I got a
okay,
hard.
Guy
The naked
and
guy.
Sean. Good old Guy and Sean.
That body's-
Maybe Sean, especially because Sean is naked and he's, well, maybe you've got your clothes now, but
Underwear.
you're watching what's going on. You get to realize these people aren't just having an orgy, that some of the cultists, the ones that had these sharp stones around their neck, they are actively cutting themselves and one another. and smearing the blood all over themselves. You begin to realize, too, that there are at least a few of them that are cutting their own throats. And you see them bleeding out. The blood's all over them. They eventually almost look like they're drunk for a moment, and then they collapse on the ground. And then they get back up again. And when they get back up again, their eyes are rolled up into their heads, and they begin to dance. And now their body movements, it's almost, it's like the weirdest circus contortionist. They're making movements that a human body shouldn't be able to make, as they're sort of wildly, insanely dancing. And it's obvious that they've bled out. They're dead. But they are continuing to worship whatever it is they're worshiping as you are making your way around. But there's probably half a dozen people that you see now that are probably no longer alive, but continue to dance.
Guess I'll fit in here.
Yeah. With your cut throat and still moving, you're fine.
Who has the best stealth?
I have 55.
And six.
5.
I have 60.
45.
Nice.
All right, so it looks like Guy and Sean.
I have 65.
Oh, you've
Oh.
got 65. All right, Dirk, why don't you roll a stealth?
I've been rolling dog shit, but okay. Woo, that's better. 39. I can make it
Okay.
hard if needed.
No, that's good. You do notice a lot of people with the third eye that they've painted on. And there might be a few moments when you're not sure if they see you or not, but they seem too distracted to pay any attention to it, which is because you passed your stealth. So you make your way around and you get to that. You get to the monoliths that are behind the huts. And once again, I'd like you all to do spot hiddens.
Hey, a pass. Hard pass.
God, jeez.
No.
86. Ew.
Dirk's the only one that passed. All right.
When I find my
So
body.
Dirk, all of the rest of you notice that Dirk, as you approach behind the monolith, you see that they are completely covered in some kind of writing. The writing is carved into it, deeply carved into it. It's no language that you've ever seen before. The rest of you kind of notice that Dirk has stopped in his tracks, and he is staring at the monolith, and he's not moving. Dirk, you begin to realize that even though that it's some sort of alien language, the meaning of it is starting to creep its way into your mind. You can do a power roll.
That would be an extreme success.
So you can blink your eyes and try to get away from it. It definitely wants to grab a hold of you. It wants to teach you stuff. And the only impression is that these monoliths are why these people are here worshiping, because the monoliths have taught them how to summon the masked messenger. And that if you stood here and read them, you would understand too. You'd probably become one of them. But you can pull yourself away from it. You also get
Rock.
you also get a very strong impression that you don't like that hut with the blank door, the blackness.
Yeah. To James, I'm thinking we need to avoid that hut. I know you're very interested in meeting this mass messenger type, but
Oh, I thought we were going to burn that hut down.
I don't think that'll help anything. be as plain as possible. I think it may just piss whatever's inside off. They're trying to summon something, and I think it's going to come out of there. And I worried that might have been what is responsible for all of that you all wandered off and saw.
Uh-huh. Well, then, what's the plan?
Do we wait in ambush for it then? Wait for it to come out, and then you can cast a spell on it?
I feel like we would have at least talked enough that if the spell wouldn't have worked on the hunting horrors, I sincerely doubt it'll work on anything basically non-human.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm thinking our best bet is still just head of the snake, finding Kaleko and using the spell, then saying hi with a shotgun. I don't know much else we can do.
yeah.
They're starting
Well-
something. It's already going.
Could we get the spell? If I remember how the spell, we can get it pretty much prepped, and I imagine he's going to come out and come to that altar when he exits. That's when you cast it.
Mm-hmm.
It needs
But I
no
think-
prep.
Yeah.
It's instant.
But I think
Which
you all will need bodies by then. I don't know that they're getting back up. So, like, maybe, I don't know, we can drag someone out behind the bushes, and you're all going to need bodies in order to cast it. Guy, maybe just keep your chin down to be able to keep the words out.
Okay.
But
Maybe Amy and Donna, I don't know, could both of you maybe possess the guard, and then Dirk and I can run in when they're distracted for that minute,
You can
And then-
try.
blow this guy away.
It's worth trying.
It'll work for a minute, definitely.
So you have worked your way around behind where the monoliths are, behind the huts. You're avoiding the first one, the void. The one in the middle is the one with the guards, but the guards are now on the other side of the hut. You are behind the hut. You can see that they're crudely made out of, pieces of wood, planks of wood, and so forth, with a lot of, they're not solidly built. There's gaps in the wood
can I try and
itself.
peek through those?
Yeah. So you scooch up near the hut, and you can see there's a knot hole. And as you look through it, takes you a second to realize what you're seeing, because the only light that's in there is coming from outside, shining in. But there's a cot, and there's somebody laying in the cot. And when your eyes kind of get used to the light, the lack of light as you're looking in there, you realize that there is maybe a man who's lying on the cot. He's either asleep or he's in some sort of state of not like almost coma-like. But you can see that his facial features are not human anymore. That he is black in color, scaly. His jaw is distended, almost crocodile-like. And that there is something in his forehead that is trying to grow or form another eye socket. You're pretty sure this is Jack. And you can do sanity because that's probably what you're going to turn into.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Full bastard. I just pass.
Yeah, another 1d4.
Fuck.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys see Dirk suddenly pull away from the knot hole.
You okay?
What is it?
Fuck.
I'm sorry, he's also chained to the bed.
Well, I'm also one away from indefinite, by the way. I found Jack, and you're not gonna like it.
He's dead.
No, probably worse. He's a lizard man now, and they've got him chained inside. Donna, don't you dare! They've got him chained inside. I don't think he's going anywhere, but I don't know how much of him is still left. You told me that Senegal fella had to kill his brother, and his skull's up there.
Mm-hmm.
If one of you would want to use the heart spell, you can see him through the hole, and you could potentially try and cast it.
Put him out of his misery.
But he won't hear me.
I mean, you can shout through the hole.
They need to hear
Yep.
you.
He's in conversation range, right?
Yeah,
You
but
have
I'm
to
not.
have a
I'm,
mouth
I'm still a
in order
ghost.
to cast a spell.
He has to see. He has to see your mouth.
No, you
No,
have
you
to have a
have to
mouth.
say it
I don't-
out loud in order for it to
yeah.
work.
Yeah.
I'm willing to do it, James and Donna, if you want me to put him out of his misery.
Do
I'm
it.
gonna go look in the hole.
Okay, Donna, you can do a sanity roll. You're seeing the same thing.
Oh
I'm
my
going
God,
to
I just barely passed.
do a luck roll, Donna.
Fail.
In that case, just as you're looking, Jack sort of rolls over, and you can see that it has tears.
Oh,
He's not necessarily asleep, but he is definitely in absolute despair.
I try to go through the wall.
Well, you can't go through the wall.
I can't. I'm
No
a
more than you
ghost.
could open up a door. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jack. Jack.
You
We
hear
don't know if they
the
can hear
you hear the chains rattle, and Jack puts his hand against the wall where you are. You can see that his hand is turned into some sort of, crocodilian sort of looking thing. You can do a sanity roll. Well,
Yeah.
just do a sanity roll.
I just did one.
Yeah.
But the hand. The failing because of the hand.
There's kind of the sound of a crocodilian sort of
Oh.
gasping or growling.
Just tears.
Yeah.
Ghost tears are falling.
Do
And
it,
I just
guy.
kind of
He
I just
says,
kinda-
he says, "Kill me."
Oh. Dirk, just fucking do it.
All right. All right. I'm gonna initiate the spell.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. What is it? You have to spend one magic point, and you will lose 1d20
Jeez.
sanity.
Oh my God.
I'm definitely going bye-bye after this.
Yeah, it's a brutal
Say goodbye
cost.
to this cult. Say goodbye to this cultist. Okay. Right.
Nat 20. Oh,
20. Oh, that is 18.
Oh.
Mm.
Boop, boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop.
Bye-bye.
I think, well, I'm going to let you decide. How does your character react to killing Jack? I mean, you don't really know him, but he was
No.
looking into your face and he was crying.
on the one hand, like Guy like kind of understands like the idea of like putting someone out of his misery and like totally, gets that. At the same time, he's also just seen his own dead body. He's seen some horrific entity from beyond the stars. He's seen a bunch of like orgiastic reveling and people killing themselves. So he's just he at this point he's reached the limits of his windows of tolerance at this point. So I think he'll probably go start wandering off into the crowd.
Okay. Yeah. Are you you just walk around the hut and start heading in that direction?
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
You probably also realize that that this is where Dirk's going as well. So, and he's your friend. So,
Oh,
Yeah, he's my
All right.
trusted mentor. He's my
So
trusted mentor.
you've become basically catatonic.
Yeah.
Well, except that you're mobile. As soon as you walk out from behind the hut, one of the guards that's standing there is immediately like, "Where the hell did you come from? What are you doing back there?" But you just keep walking.
He's shuffling.
The guard suddenly becomes suspicious of why you're back there, and I'm going to do a luck roll to see if he decides to check out where you came from. He got an 02. So he is a good guard. He is going to come around back and see what the hell's going on. What do you guys want to do?
As soon as so we see Guy start going.
Yeah, Guy looks like he's a broken person.
Yeah.
Would we have, well, I guess, would Amy be able to try to possess the guard as soon as he appears, or is that, would we be expecting that? I guess is a fair question.
You could try to do that. Yeah, you could. You're invisible. You could get to him before he even gets around
Okay.
the back. Go ahead and roll your POW.
Oh, extreme success. I got an +5.
Nice.
So as he comes around, and the other guard is watching him, but he suddenly you slam into him. You try to force your way into his soul, and he reacts immediately. But his other guard sees him suddenly convulse and definitely now thinks that something's up. So he pulls out a machete. And you can only hold the guard for a couple of seconds before you are shoved out, because once again, he's a living person. The other guard has not raised the alarm yet, and neither one of them knows that Jack is no longer alive. What do you guys want to do? What's your plan? You know from experience that Amy's about to get shoved right back out of the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing this clusterfuck, I am assuming Guy would have also left his host's machete on the ground. And I think I'm going to try to run and immediately machete onto the other guard, sort of over Amy's guard's shoulder.
Okay. Do a brawl roll.
Okay. Oh, actually, I have good brawl. Fuck! I rolled 65 on the dot. So yes, just a pass.
Okay. And he didn't dodge. So you bring the machete down on him. And with all the noise of the crowd and everything going on still, nobody really notices.
Nice.
And if it is possible, I'm willing to roll brawl again, but assuming that there's a few seconds before Amy gets shunted.
Right.
I'm imagining that I have sort of just cleaver over the shoulder of the one, got him at the top of the skull. I want to try to wrap my arm to put the other in a chokehold and drag them back. as it
Okay.
seems like they're just kind of standing and convulsing.
Right. Okay, you can do that. Do you want to choke him out?
Absolutely. That would be the best way to get a good quality body for the rest of my ghostly companions.
Good quality body. Yeah,
There
go
you
ahead
go.
and do a brawl.
All right. That is a 10. This is not my first time choking someone out.
Yeah,
That is an
you,
extreme success.
You have no problem cutting off the windpipe. Amy, you kind of feel that Dirk is cutting off your windpipe. You can feel the person's consciousness sort of slipping away. And as it does, you feel your own consciousness getting a tighter grip inside.
Yeah.
And very quickly, Dirk, the guy passes out. You've cut off his wind supply, and in a matter of minutes, he's dead. And Amy has a new body,
Nice.
which is in pretty good physical contact.
Dirk, let go. Let go.
I'm imagining he's like
Amy.
struggling
Yeah.
and goes
All
scary.
right.
And then there's a
Who's this one?
It's me, Amy.
Oh, welcome back. I'll help you out.
Right. So now what?
Okay, so you took out one guard, or did you take out both guards?
I think that's
Both.
Both guards.
Okay, I'll take the other guard, the one that you macheted or whatever.
Okay. And there's the problem is the person's been macheted, so
Yeah.
they're in pretty horrific condition.
Yeah, but I want him because I want to go in and touch my son to say goodbye. Yeah, even though I know it'll be horrific, but I imagine that's what a father would want.
Okay. We'll assume that you do that then.
Yeah.
You can now surmise that the third hut is where King Kaleko must be.
Mhm.
Oh, do you want to sneak around and take a peek inside?
I will, because I'm ghost still.
Okay. Yeah. In fact, Donna, you can see you're taking a peek through the thing itself. There is a man inside. He is wiry. He looks like he's maybe in his 50s or 60s. He is attended by two females who are dressing him. He's being dressed in ceremonial robes that seem to be made out of parrot feathers. And they've put a green sort of headdress on him that has parrot feathers. But the parrot feathers look just a little bit too much like tentacles. And it's very strange. The effect is really striking. The man has around his neck a black stone that looks like Dirk's stone, but it's black instead of green. And you're pretty much guessing that this is King Kaleko. And just as you're looking through, you see that he's getting ready to leave the hut and head towards the center.
Does he have a third eye?
He has one painted on.
So I'm just kind of like peeking over, not like full on. And so
Right.
then I'm gonna run back to Dirk and tell him everything I just saw.
Yeah, I can see him leaving the hut now.
Oh, he's leaving
Do
the
I
hut?
s-
Or
do I
is he
see the
still
king?
getting
I thought you
dressed?
said that
He's
he was
about
like
to.
walking out of the hut. And
He's
so she's
about to
running
leave the
back.
hut.
He's
Yeah.
still getting dressed. He's still getting
shit.
ready.
Redact what I said.
Ah!
Right.
Hmm.
What do we do?
I'm the one who looks most like normal for them.
Wait,
James
the
is
king's gonna walk out. I'm gonna shoot him. You guys go around the corner.
no. Let me quickly go in and cast the spell. He'll think I'm a
Okay.
guard coming in.
Great. You do that, and I'll shoot him.
Excellent.
Sure.
Let's go. This machete wound hurts like a bitch.
This plan cannot fail.
All right. So Amy.
So Amy's
you're
go on. I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
Well, I was going to say my plan is to walk in and just stand at the entrance, kind of hiding Sean behind me, and order the two women out. And when they start to go, then I start to cast the spell. But let me know how far I get along in that plan.
All right. So you go around to the front of the tent, and you now realize that these flaps that are hanging down, serving as doors, they're human skin
Ah!
Nice.
that's been stitched together. There's light from inside, obviously, from torches and so forth. You move the curtain out of the way, and the two women look up at you, and King Kaleko looks up, and he says something in French. Do you speak French?
No, I do not.
Okay. But you get the feeling of it, and the feeling is, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out of the way.
All right, I just cast a spell then. I start to cast a spell.
All right. In this case, you're casting it against him.
Mhm.
He's probably got good pal.
Yeah. Roll POW.
I have a regular success.
Okay.
I will burn luck if I need to get a hard.
Okay. Well, he actually didn't. He wasn't expecting it. So you cast the spell, and immediately he reacts by stepping back and gasping. But he gives the two women looks like he's in distress, and they immediately grab machetes and come swinging them at you at full speed. You can either try to dodge, but if you do, you break the spell. You have to concentrate. So, and they're going to probably hit you anyway. So you're going to break.
Right.
You're going to break your concentration.
I lose sanity for casting this, right?
Yeah, 1d20.
Let's see what that is first. 12. I'm well below indefinite.
Okay.
So
what immediately happens, and I'll say it plays out like this. We'll get to Sean in a moment, because Sean, you're coming up from right behind. Amy, you start to cast a spell, and immediately you are attacked by these two women with machetes who hack you to pieces. So the spell stops. King Kaleko now knows that somebody is trying to stop him. But Sean, you can go next. You see Amy fall backwards onto the ground with blood gushing. And Amy, you snap back to where Dirk is. But you are mentally screaming.
broken.
Yeah. What do you do, Sean?
All right. I pull out my gun and I shoot the guy.
Okay. Do a firearms.
Well, I rolled 69, which is a regular
Yes.
success.
I rolled a 95.
Dang.
So you fire. Roll for damage.
What, a D10 probably?
Oh yeah, probably.
9.
Okay. You hit him square in right below his shoulder, above his heart. He falls back. The women are now going to attack you. Go ahead. I guess you can try to dodge.
I'm fighting back.
Okay, you're going to fight back. Both of them are
Yeah.
coming at you.
Yeah.
One of them swings the machete, and it's going to connect unless you can roll better.
I got a
I got a
42. Okay. If I spent half my luck, I would be at an extreme. I think I'm gonna,
Better
Okay.
catch a machete.
yeah, down to 30.
All right. So she swings at you and misses as you. What do? Bring your fist up, fire at
Mhm.
her.
Yeah, I punch at her.
Okay. You punch at her with the butt of the
Yeah.
gun.
Yeah, pistol whip her.
Go ahead and do that. Would be like 1d8.
All right.
The other one's
7.
missing. Okay, yeah, you knock her on her ass at least. Probably break her jaw.
Mhm.
As this happens in that sort of moment of pandemonium, what are the rest of you guys doing?
I mean, watching Amy just get ripped to shreds, I think I'm just going off. I have the shotgun leveled and am running straight up on them. I don't know exactly what's inside, but I'm going to just open on whatever is the first non-friend I come across.
Guy, you're still wandering out there into the group.
Yeah, shuffling.
James, what are you doing?
Were there torches in my son's
There weren't.
lodge? There weren't. Okay. All right. Then
There are torches out in front of it.
I'm gonna go. I'm pissed because they resulted in my kid dying. Both my kids dying. So I come out and I grab a torch, and I've been wanting to burn this fucker's hut down. So I'm gonna go take a torch to the King Clayco's ramshackle hut.
Okay, now a couple of your friends are in there, but they're
I know. I'm still doing it.
You're like that. All right.
Yes.
So, Sean, what you see as King Kaleko's been shot and he falls back, you see him bring his hand over and he grabs that stone that's around his neck, and he brings his good hand up and he shouts something in a bizarre guttural sort of language. And as he does, you all suddenly can do dex rolls as the ground begins to quake beneath your feet.
Shit, he cast Arms of Hadar.
Pass. Regular.
I'm fine because I'm still a ghost. I passed.
I got a
pass.
hard pass. I don't know if you wanted me to roll on that, but I did get a hard pass.
Yeah, roll on it because it's to see if you fall off your feet. So if you passed, you manage to stay steady. Otherwise, you trip and fall. Guy, you get the best view of all at this point. The star pools erupt like a geyser going off. Water shoots up into the sky, and this monstrous thing appears. It's almost indescribable. It's 100 feet high. It's got features like a crab, like a spider. It's got multiple eyes. It towers over the jungle. And it makes a sound that's deafening. And it's just immediately violently thrashing about. And in thrashing it about, it is smashing people left and right, the cultists that are all around it. Guy, do a luck roll.
That's a success.
Okay. Despite the fact that you were kind of dazed now, you've suddenly been woken up by this horror. You realize you've seen it before. This is definitely the thing that smashed you all. This is the thing that leveled that part of the jungle where your bodies were. This is the Lurker. And it is violently it's just going crazy at this point. King Kaleko is apparently trying to gain control of the thing. Sean, what do you want to do?
I shoot him again.
Gonna try to shoot him again?
Just shoot him on the ground.
Okay.
That one's 76, so I have to spend 6 luck to get a pass.
Okay. He got a hard, and he is going to counter by casting the clutch of whatchamacallit on you.
Mhm.
You suddenly feel pain in your chest. You drop your rifle, and it probably causes you to miss. You drop your rifle, and you're going to take 1d3 damage.
Yeah.
And you can't really act while you're in the clutch of dying. All right. How about everybody else? Where are we? Dirk.
Here is a question. Does Dirk also get that realization that that giant crab thing is the lurker?
Yeah, if you see it, that's definitely the thing. That's the thing that killed you all, except that's the thing, Dirk, that you ran and ran and ran and ran to get away from, which is the only
Right.
thing that saved you.
And I'm imagining that that stone is almost burning hot.
It's hot, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Oh. Guys nowhere to be seen. James, how close would you have been to Dirk?
Well, I would have grabbed a torch just outside of my son's thing and went right over there. So probably pretty close to the entrance is where I'm trying to catch the thing on fire.
So, like, I guess I'm just trying to get a mental picture because if I have anyone that's right near me, I'm probably going to try to just hand the shotgun off and I'm going to try to hold the stone up to have a new pet doggy.
Well, where are you standing? Because I probably am. I'm the closest of any of us that are functioning
Yeah.
that can
Actually,
hold a shotgun.
I think that like I'm probably gonna I was running right up to the hut, but I'm gonna stop in my tracks and like maybe just absentmindedly hold the shotgun out in my left hand. And in my right, I want to like grab the stone and try to exert some force of will over this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell it to sick.
Okay. The lurker. What'd you get?
I rolled an odd 6 again.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
So you immediately realize a couple of things. One is, I mean, it's already thrashing about. There are cultists who don't have the third eye. At this point, they're all running for their fucking lives. Okay. The ones who have the third eye are throwing themselves down on the ground and worshiping the lurker, even as it's smashing them and crushing them underfoot. But the lurker itself immediately turns its multiple eyes towards you, and it's almost as if you feel like from your heart through the stone and to the lurker that it's controlled by your mind. If you move your arms this way, it moves that way. If you move, it's almost like you're able to puppet it from the inside, like your soul is in complete control of it, or it's just obeying your every wish and command. If you want it to smash, it smashes.
I want it to take one of those big, nasty claw arms and just smash immediately down on Kaleko's hut.
Okay.
I don't care if Sean, whoever the fuck is inside, that like, you'll be fine. Yeah.
Without hesitation, it rides forward on its multiple legs, its tentacles writhing, and it brings one of these giant crab claws down on the hut and smashes it flat. King Kaleko is immediately squished. The girls are squished. Sean is squished. Probably James, who is right there trying to light it on fire, is squished. But of course, you guys all just snap out next to Dirk when you are smashed. Guy, you've probably come to your senses at this point, and you see what's going on. You see Dirk standing there holding up his hand, and the thing is obeying. How do you want to proceed, Dirk? Just smash everyone involved?
I wanted to smash the other hut. As that's the thing, like that's my priority number 2 that I haven't wanted to disturb yet, but at this point I might as well throw it at everything.
Which is the other hut? The one with
the one on the right that we
Jack?
passed that I got severely bad vibes about.
All right. So after it has smashed a few other things, it moves over towards that last hut, and its claw raises up and it brings down its claw onto that hut. And it's a strange reaction. What you see is as it hits the hut, the wood of the hut seems to sort of implode into the hut. And then the creature lurches back, but its claw is caught in the hut. And suddenly there's a horrible crinkling sort of sound as it's pulled forward by its claw, and its claw is crushed, and it is slowly, over the course of a couple of seconds, crushed down and pulled through what was the doorway into the blackness and the void. You can hear people, the ones who've managed to survive, run screaming off into the distance. And for just a moment, there is nothing on that sand except a black hole and a cold wind. And then it winks out, and there's nothing there at all. And other than the sound of distant people running and screaming, the creature is gone. King Kaleko is dead, and all of your companions are standing next to you as ghosts once again. What do you want to do?
I would imagine at this point, from ordering this lurker around, that the scales on my hand have just expanded, and I'm having almost like a Princess Mononoke kind of vibe, like just crawling up my arm.
Yeah, in fact, they are continuing. They're not growing that fast, but they're definitely spreading.
Well, Dirk, there's a gun. You can shoot yourself.
Yeah.
I'd shoot you, but
What the hell? You killed me.
Oh,
The bullets were working. The gypsy lady lied.
yeah, needs must, and all that. I mean, mission fucking accomplished, everyone.
You gotta go find me another body.
I don't feel too well. You think one of you could kindly find someone to pick up that there shotgun and see if I can join you?
yeah,
Can you let me find another body first?
Yeah. Or actually, his guy managed to live throughout all of this since he survived the eruption.
I'm alive. I'm in a stupor.
I would like to try to take possess Dirk's body since he's so out of it right now.
Yeah. I'll tell you, you can do a power roll. But he's got 150 POW.
Oh,
So you're
I
not gonna
pass.
win.
yeah.
Wait, does he have to roll one?
Yeah,
No, you
I
have to
rolled.
oppose his
Yeah, I
against
rolled a-
yours.
I rolled
a
it.
61, so
I got a
pass.
36.
Yeah.
Dang it.
You,
Thought that
you
was my
can't push
chance.
Dirk out.
But he's kind of depressed right now.
Yeah, you're trying to cheer him up.
Donna,
Well,
I appreciate what you're doing, but now's not
I was just
the
trying to take over.
What are you going to do about the cultists that are running away?
Oh my
shoot
God.
shoot the
I think
flare.
yeah, dejectedly, like shooting the flare.
All right.
Mission
You shoot the
accomplished.
flare.
Shoot at you.
let's sort of wrap it up a little. So eventually, you hear gunshots out in the jungle over the course of the next hour or so, as Senegal and his people are killing any of the cultists who have run away. Eventually, they get to where you are, and they see that you've managed to kill the Coleco and destroy the area, and the Lurker seems to no longer be around. Is there anything else you want to do?
So Dirk is not going to let himself become one of those things. And I think my question is, I think that it will be a more or less poetic end, especially if Guy is the only one with still a body. If Dirk can just look at these pools that are still full of all of these stars, and we're going to have a look at the rabbits, Lenny moment, as Guy can pick up the gun and said, like, well, looks like you're on your own now.
Yeah, at this point, I'm still kind of in like a reverie around, putting everyone out of their misery. I feel like I'm kind of like an angel of death at this point. So yeah, I happily pull up the gun and shoot him.
And that's the end of Burning Stars. As soon as Dirk is gone, everybody's gone.
Oh.
For what it's worth, Senegal would have killed you anyway, because you couldn't have survived. There was no way. Mama Josephine lied to you. There's no way. There's no means of finding a way to save you. So, but you guys are heroes. You did stop this from happening, but you were infected, and the only way to stop it was to get rid of you. They also dynamite the monoliths, because if the monoliths exist, the cult could rise again. And that's the end of our story. Well done.
So cheery.
So any questions?
One of my goals or thoughts was going to be to get Medwin to come in after Senegal and basically have Senegal come in to clear house of the cultist, then Medwin come in to clear house with Senegal. Is that something that I could have negotiated? I froze at the moment and I didn't know how to negotiate that.
Yeah, you could have also gotten Medwin to bring people up here as well to stop these cultists. He wasn't a fan of the cultists. He probably was slightly aware of their existence. Everybody was.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the big question is, what are you?
Right.
Like the Baka said.
Mhm.
So it's not clearly stated, but I've talked to Matthew about it. And it seems that you guys came up here to stop King Coleco, and he called the Lurker, and the Lurker killed you all, but Dirk managed to get away from it. Dirk has had a hard life in the past, back in New York, whatever, growing up. And part of his ability to cope with that was kind of a little bit of the split personality thing himself. He could compartmentalize his thoughts. So when this happened to Dirk, that's kind of the way he wanted to cope with it, by compartmentalizing you all and making you into something, because he knew that he couldn't do anything on his own and he needed help. But this is all Nyarlathotep stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he noticed this happening. He watched his avatar destroy all of you except for Dirk. He saw Dirk putting these things together in his mind, and he said, you know what? I am going to have a fucking good time with this. So not only did Dirk create alternative personalities for each of you, but Nyarlathotep brought them to life. So you actually were alive. You actually were sentient consciousnesses, not necessarily the people you thought you were, but composed of Dirk's knowledge of who you were. But you were real up until Dirk died. The Baka could see how bizarre you were. Where did you come from? How do you have 6 people inside of one body? And they weren't just personalities, they were people. So it was mainly Nyarlathotep screw fucking with everybody. I mean, other than that, I think you've pretty much figured out what the whole game was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming. Go ahead.
Did they say what the Lurker is?
It's just an
Oh,
avatar
just-
of Nyarlathotep.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
And yeah, if you hadn't killed Jack would have been part of the ceremony, and the masked messenger would have come out of the hut and possessed Jack, and then he could have lived and become a horrible ruler, influence in Earth in a very physical, literal manner. The third hut, the black hut, that was a portal. And it was a portal going to Nyarlathotep's planet. Where is it? Abith, the world of 7 suns, where Nyarlathotep tends to reside. So if you had gone into that hut and remained in the hut for more than a couple of seconds, you would have been sucked into that other world.
Yeah. It's like,
which wouldn't have been a good thing.
what?
I would be curious if it's as written, or a modification I would be tempted to make is that Mama Josephine is Nyarlathotep, essentially, with ringside seats to watch all of this and like give us a little nudge. And
that's an interesting idea. The one thing that the thing does say is that Mama Josephine has more knowledge of the elder gods, the old ones, and Nyarlathotep than anybody else on the island. Also, an interesting thing is that there is theoretically an entire tarot deck of Nyarlathotep stuff that gives you all kinds of abilities and powers if you can locate all the cards, but there's only 5 cards in this one.
gotta catch them all.
Just gotta catch them all. You lose your mind in the process. Well, I hope you enjoyed it.
It's fun.
That
Yeah,
was
I
a
liked it a lot.
blast. That
It
was the
was.
most
Yeah.
Call of Cthulhu-y Call of Cthulhu game I have
It
played.
was amazing. I feel like I was
So
a lot
good.
of different people in that game.
Yeah. You were.
Every group has played it a little differently. So that's kind of cool. Let me go ahead and do the outro, and then we can talk just for a few minutes about it. Our players included Dr. Lex Hurley, Keith Craig, Tyler Hudak, Jenny Olson, Troy Wheeldryer, and Kayla McDowell, with yours truly as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you would like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page listed in the description, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.